Hi, everyone. Welcome back to God's Whispers, a place where we take the time to pause and reflect on the word of the Lord. Today I'm going to be speaking about the first book of Corinthians, chapter 2, verses 1 through 5. When Paul writes to the Corinthians, he doesn't want to try and sound impressive, and that's kind of the point. When I was reading about St. Paul and his journey here, he came from a major education center for Stoic philosophy. And he was well educated in Judaism under a great rabbi named Gamaliel. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. That was from Acts chapter 22, verse 3. So despite his really great training and heritage, he didn't want to have sophisticated words about first century philosophy or wisdom. Instead, his object of knowledge, his teacher, became Jesus Christ and him crucified. Let's listen. When I came to you, brothers and sisters, proclaiming the mystery of God, I did not come with sublimity of words or wisdom. For I resolved to know nothing while I was with you, except Jesus Christ and him crucified. I came to you in weakness and fear and much trembling. And my message and my proclamation were not with persuasive words of wisdom, but with a demonstration of spirit and power, so that your faith might rest not on human wisdom, but on the power of God. So he came to Corinth as like this new course of study that he wanted to internalize and show that even though he's so well trained and has a lot of human learning, he did not demonstrate the Spirit's power through these well-formed arguments that he was probably capable of, but rather he wanted to highlight weakness and fear. In this way, the picture that we get of Paul's ministry at Corinth was one of weakness and lowliness, traits of the crucified Jesus. So he had to depend on the Holy Spirit's power, not his own ability. He was confident, bold, and deeply committed, yet he was willing to admit that he didn't have it all together, and he needed to trust. Paul says that his faith and theirs was not meant to rest on human wisdom, but on God. For anyone that feels tired of constantly having to explain themselves or to prove themselves or to say the right thing, this reading gently reminds us that faith isn't something that we have to perform. It's something that we receive, even when we feel unsure. So maybe instead of finding the right words, we're invited simply to be present and trusting that God is already at work. So journal prompts that will go along with this passage would be, where do I feel pressure to have the right words or answers? And what would it look like to show up honestly without performance? And then finally, where might God be asking me to trust rather than explain? I hope that this passage and message was encouraging to you. And if you feel like it was, please give it a like or share it with a friend. And don't forget to subscribe so you can continue to hear God's Whispers.